60%, 60, of all small businesses that suffer a cyber attack go out of business within 6 months afterwards. 60%.
Holy,
Now, it doesn't talk about what's... You're listening to Burn Rate and Bullshit,
the show where founders, suits, and corporate clowns all get called the fuck out.
We're Josh Robinson and Mike Nathan, entrepreneurs turned VCs.
With zero filters, strong opinions, and a bullshit detector set to high.
Welcome to the only business podcast that actually tells it like it is.
I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan.
So, Josh, couldn't help but notice what do you got there on the wall, pal?
This?
Oh, humble brag.
This?
I don't know.
So
it's fetching. Caught my eye.
About a month ago now, we hit 100,000 subscribers on Burn Rate and Bullshit on YouTube.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
We actually were able to capture that moment on a call together.
We did. I noticed you got a plaque.
I did. So YouTube gives you one.
Okay.
And I figured this is probably where it ought to go.
In the offices where we film. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's nice for you to see it every day.
And they give you an opportunity to buy other ones.
Deal. I'm going to get 7 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I got you one.
You did?
I did.
Oh, boy. Look at you. Look at you.
Here you go.
My very own, the
very
YouTube.
own silver YouTube creator
Is this
plaque.
the reveal? The big reveal?
This is the reveal.
Okay. So we've got card, Jimmy's Trophy Emporium, and balloons. Letter from the CEO of YouTube, personally addressed.
Yeah. And that's a wet signature. That's not printed.
Is it really?
No, come on. It's a front.
Yeah, it's a front.
Come on.
I like the thought, though. So, Burn Rate and Bullshit for passing 100,000 subscribers. You know when you made it, Josh?
I do have to tell you, though,
when they send
it's
you
a massive pain in the ass to not only order the second one, but order the first one. Is this mine to keep? That's yours to keep.
Awesome.
It's all yours. So YouTube obviously is not in the plaque making business, so they outsource that to a third party.
Plus,
the third party doesn't let you use profanity on the plaque, which...
Even though we have the dollar sign?
It's a little, it's a little difficult for us since profanity's in the name. So, I mean, I had to go to, like, Jesus Christ himself to approve.
Good thing it was just Easter.
It took a minute.
Yeah, he's born again. He's risen. It's going to offend a lot of people. Right? Or not?
Maybe. You know what else I learned? This is way off topic. So, what grade is he? Give me a second. 4th grader is learning about the metric system. Do you remember growing up?
They treat that in South Dakota.
Well, so funny. So do you remember growing up? They were like, "Hey, you better learn metric because it's like we're going to change to it, right?" Where the hell is that? Where's that been at? First question. Second question. So what's the opposite of metric?
Well, what do they call the English? What's it called? The
imperial.
Imperial. Thank you.
Right.
Yes,
okay. Yeah. That's what I learned. Holy shit! Nope.
Is there a third?
No, you can't say imperial anymore. That is
because they had it because it was the empire. Throughout the empire, this is the standard unit.
100%.
Unit of measurement.
You can't say imperial anymore. It's called customary. So it's metric and customary. My kids looked at me like I was the biggest racist bigot
because it was
we were talking about metric and all. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk or some stupid
what.
Yeah, that's how they're learning all the different units in metric.
Customary, not imperial.
Customary.
Like,
you can't say imperial.
Can we promote this?
It's like Indian. It's indigenous.
Well, speaking of cybersecurity, this is
so maybe the first
threat.
10 minutes of this we cut out as a separate clip.
Bigger threat is our way of life. Our cultures, our customs are now being customary.
So, a couple of fellows like you and I, who better positioned to speak to the merits of cybersecurity?
Right. Obviously
us. Mm-hmm. Where do you want to start with it? Because I've got some thoughts on how you don't need to be an expert. We're joking, but I've got some thoughts on how you don't need to be an expert on technology or cybersecurity to have a good position in your company on this. But where do you want to start?
Well, I think maybe let's frame it up just a little bit. And so cybersecurity, I think we're talking about is because we're in such a digital age, everything is on tablets, laptops, phones, watches, you name it. So much amazing, critical, lifeblood sort of data sits on your devices And that can be pretty easily hacked into. And you're a moron if you're not thinking about it. But also, don't hyperventilate either. But in today's day and age, what happens when somebody messes with that? Has the ability to turn them off, steal your data, corrupt your data. What I mean by that is, can they mess with it and say, instead of $10, you have to pay $10 million, or someone jumps into an email and says, oh no, don't send it to that account, send it to this account. So that's the cybersecurity I'm thinking about. Also, there's the traditional, the hacking that goes on that you see in the movie theater. That maybe is one of the first hot takes I'll give you is, although it's a very real threat, the threat isn't from some hacker in a hoodie. The threat is coming from your own people.
Yeah.
They're using the same password they had since 1999 when they got their AOL account. And now they're using it forever, including like Gypsy King.
And the password is password.
Yeah. Right. That's your biggest threat. Or somebody walking out with the laptop. Whoops, left it at a cafe. Someone stole it out of my car. My girlfriend took it because she was pissed at me. Those are your big threats. Those are the ones that get you. Very, very few times they come after smaller companies anyway in like a hack scenario or ransomware piece. Mm-hmm. If you're UHG, as we learned, yeah, they're a target. They need to have probably some more sophisticated stuff. So I think we can start there. I think the threat is real.
As a small company, though, what is the real risk of having a cyber security event? Because so many people now are on a cloud-based product, whether you're on Google Suite of applications or if you're on Microsoft Office, it's all hosted in the cloud. So if you have a breach, you're likely not losing your data, if at all, but likely not for a long term, right? Because it's all backed up in the cloud.
Yep.
So what is the real risk now? I mean, obviously bigger companies like UHG, a lot of on-prem stuff, they get a breach, they really could lose actual data, access to that data for a period of time. But if we're targeting this conversation to the startup, the small business person, what is the real risk? And I think the risk is, well, one, there are a lot of different scams out there to bilk you of money. Mm-hmm. So you can lose money. Yeah. Right? How many times have we had Mike, why are you texting me for gift cards?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm actually not.
I'm actually not. Right. So there's the loss of dollars, and there's I would argue, probably the reputational risk.
Yeah.
So, even as we manage a venture fund in our other lives, if we were to have a data breach, we would be able to recover all of our data virtually immediately.
Right.
Our biggest risk of a data breach from the venture side would be reputational risk. Mm-hmm. We're asking people to invest, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in us, and you guys can't even get your passwords figured out. Like that to me would be our risk.
There's some stink on you when as everybody sort of gets it in this day and age. Can hackers get to you? Can things happen? There's a lot of knuckleheads that you employ that don't change their password or just do the silliest damn things. The Nigerian prince email. Yeah, I'm going to click on that. Really? On your work computer? So I do think I wouldn't clutch your pearls, though, for too long and some of that.
I'm going to talk short attention span.
They do well, and I think I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth right now. To a certain company whose product might be a service, really digitally or rather technology enabled, downtime is like factories downtime, right? It costs you money, costs you time. Small companies, a data breach, maybe not a data breach, ransomware, somebody just bugged it and it shut down. That can be existential.
Yeah.
It can be. Now, again, I don't put that on the top 10 things of the reasons why you're going to go out. But if there's any existential threats out there as a small business owner, founder, you need to be thinking through them.
Yeah.
It's
interesting you bring that up because I found a statistic. It didn't go into what specifically caused this, but I found a statistic that said 60%, 60, of all small businesses that suffer a cyber attack go out of business within 6 months afterwards. 60%.
Holy!
Now it doesn't talk about was it because of reputational risk, loss of data, you just shut down for a period of time, didn't have any sales.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of all of that. I don't know what the exact reasons were, but 60.
But that's the precipitating reason, right? It's the breach or whatever that is.
That was small businesses. This wasn't like a big United Health that would just happen about a year ago. There's others too, but these small businesses almost 2/3 will go out of business if they have a cyber attack.
It's always great to hear you come in with some statistics that back up my opinion almost immediately in real time.
Yeah.
See, this is great.
Yeah.
This is good.
It's almost
back
like
and
it's
forth.
scripted, but it's not.
It's not. And I think we're saying the same thing, which is it can be existential, and that is a really big number. So think about it like, I wonder if you were to compare that to like a good old-fashioned lawsuit. Someone's suing a small business. What are the chances you go out of business when that happens? You're sub $50 million. Somebody comes to sue you. God, I bet you it's not 60%. It's more like 10, 15 that you would go out.
Yeah.
So, wow, this seems like it's maybe we need to rethink our whole take. That data is impressive. Or it's a big number. More than I ever thought it would be.
Well, one of the things we had talked about too in prep for this episode was the industry that sells cybersecurity tools preys on there's a term out there called FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They prey on people's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And
Elmer Fudd?
Like Elmer Fudd.
Wascally Wabbit?
Yeah.
I can't do it very well, but...
So I've got a business idea for you that we create a cybersecurity AI chatbot.
Yep.
And call it Elmer.
Oh my God.
But we would spell it like all the kids are spelling it. Like instead of ELMER, we would skip the second E. Be ELMR.
Yeah.
Because they're all there's respelling.
Grinder, Tinder, the ones you're familiar. Yeah. So Elma. Elmer Fudd.
FUD. So fear, uncertainty, doubt.
So do you want the Wascally Wabbit package, or do you just want the darn what's his other catchphrase?
It's been a minute since I've watched some Warner Brothers cartoons.
We'll workshop something.
We'll workshop it, yeah. But even the way we're talking about this is kind of setting that up to prey on people's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the reality is, yes, some scary things can happen. Yes, almost 2/3 of companies going out of business after a cybersecurity attack is alarming. And what's the number one thing you can do to manage that?
Yeah.
And it's the idiots that you have in your own four walls.
Well, it's almost like really good advice. Like they got to scare you.
Yeah.
So scaring people is not a new tactic. We scare people. I scare my kids with like
it's called being a good parenting.
Huge consequences if you don't put your damn phone down or you don't listen to me, do your whatever. We probably need that because cybersecurity still, even in this day and age, still seems like come on, it's not going to happen to me. It's really not. Or maybe it will. I'm not. You need somebody to say, no, dummy, you need this. Everything's going to go away. The crops will be burned. They'll poison the well. You need to make sure you've got it. So people should take it serious. So I don't mind it here. When it's on a completely useless service or product, then I get a little
Well, there is a lot of publication, a lot of research that would suggest overwhelmingly the number one thing you can do to prevent a cyber attack is put in a password manager that forces
multi-factor
people multi-factor people. It forces people to change passwords. It forces people to have different passwords for different applications. A single sign-on solution, so you sign in once for all of your business applications. That's the number one thing that you can do, and those tend to be really cost-effective. You're not spending thousands of. You're not even spending hundreds of dollars.
Like most system administrators can just say, like, "Hey, we're all doing this," and the biggest problem solved. Right? There's other stuff.
Yeah. So and we've talked about this before. I've been the chief information officer for a really large health system. Interesting story that touches on this password concept.
Love this.
We were about 2 hours from home, but we were still within the service area of this health system.
Okay.
And we were at our lake place. I forget which one of my chuckleheads.
I forgot which one of my lake homes we were at. I thought you were going that direction.
No, only got one.
Only got one.
No,
Okay.
one of my kids. I forget which one it was. Split their head open. We had to go get stitches, right? So we walk into the emergency room at this really small town hospital. And as we're checking in, I see right next to the computer a manila folder, like one of those 3-tab folders.
Yeah.
It's labeled passwords.
Wow.
I took a picture of
Passwords.
it slyly and sent it to the C-suite.
Oh my gosh! So this was at the company you were with, right?
This was
Oh my gosh!
in a rural hospital for the health system that I was working at the time as the CIO. So I mean, this was my problem to solve, right?
Or threaten.
Threaten, yeah.
You want to solve
but
this?
But it's
or
a real
should I?
thing. I mean,
Yes.
people are writing them down. They're reusing them. And it doesn't, one account on one website gets hacked. What a lot of these people will do then is they'll use those stolen credentials and they call it credential stuffing. They'll just start trying that same login combination everywhere.
Yep.
And it sounds ridiculous, but they do it automatedly.
Yeah.
And they have like a 0.2 to a 2% success rate. So they get your credentials on whatever website and they start using them everywhere else. And 2% of the time they'll get a hit and all of a sudden they can log into your Amex account.
So I just want to make sure all the kids are following at home. A manila envelope that was made of paper when we used to use paper a lot before there were screens. And so you'd put loose leaf papers in a manila envelope, organized by subject, password, whatever it might be. Just wanted a PSA
it's
for the kids.
It's kind of like the little folder icon that you have on your desktop. That's not even a relevant analogy anymore.
Oh my God, yeah. Let me look at this. Yeah, these are manila envelopes.
Yeah.
Except mine are blue.
You could get them in multicolor.
You can get them. Yeah, I suppose you can get them because I know the red ones. That's a crazy story.
And that was a few years ago, but that wasn't that long ago. I mean, I can only assume.
And it was that, of course, the community computer that any Joe Bob could walk up to and probably use it.
Yeah. And they didn't know who I was or that I worked there. And I mean, I could see it right there. They just knew
you were a bad parent because your kid came in all
bloodied up. Kid was mouthing off.
Well,
what are you going to do?
Well, not much. Well, you did it. So when you let's say that goes horribly wrong, that one goes a different direction. Someone scams hospital system.
Right.
What are they on the hook for? I mean, that's clearly negligent.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not criminal, but that's negligent.
Well, when you're in healthcare too, and you've got the
I'm thinking healthcare specifically.
You've got the HIPAA protected health information apparatus that you as a steward of the data, you're on the hook.
Yes.
Legally.
And you should be.
And you should be. If you're taking payment card information and you're not in healthcare, you're just in some other type of business, you've got some
real
industry things happening there too. And then there's you have customer data. You want to be a good steward of that. So whether it's a legal issue for you to have a breach or not, and you can prove negligence or malfeasance, it almost doesn't matter. It's, hey, you've consumed someone else's information. You should have the appropriate things in place. And what everything I've read suggests is number one, by far, and number two is not even close. Number one thing you can do is have a password manager.
Yeah. Man, that's simple. That's so
and
simple.
There's a half a dozen out there. There's RoboForm, NordPass, Keeper, 1Password, just the number one password.
Got it.
Proton Pass. I mean, there's a ton out there, but each one of them has a little bit different approach depending on what your business needs are. But NordPass actually published a list from, I think this was 2024, but the 10 most common passwords that they saw across their platform.
Do you know what they are?
Oh, I do. I have them right here. You want to guess them?
Yes, please.
What do you think what do you think number one is?
Password, nothing else. Password.
That is in the top 10. That's not number one. That password is number 4. Okay, so then password is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or some variation of that. So
they most probably always need to be 9. So maybe it's 1 through 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the number one used password.
Nailed it. After I said the first one.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You're joking. All of them are the sequenced numbers.
Yep. These are all in the top 10. 6 ones. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. QWERTY, like the QWERTY keyboard. QWERTY 1, 2, 3. QWERTY 1. Secret.
Oh boy.
Secret is number 9 on the list. But yeah, 1, 2,
Does
3.
Does it say what percentages do
4,
they have?
5. No, it just shows us the top 10. But 5 of the top 10 are an iteration of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 something.
And most of those people will keep that password as long as they're there.
That's exactly right.
My God. So for all those...
That's alarming.
All those hackers at home, we just tipped the eye. Just try
Probably
that.
already knew, but yeah.
Try the keypad.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Just run up the numbers. That's crazy. So if I'm an owner, I'm an entrepreneur, CEO, leader of the ship.
Servant leader, some might say.
Servant leader, of course. How can I help you make me rich? Something like that. Where I was going with this was, you know how, I mean, one of the things we talked about, we did this through a couple diligence ones, we look for it, is do you have that cyber insurance? Mm-hmm. The Jimmy's a knucklehead, left his laptop at a park bench doing God knows what. And now everybody's data, our patients, credit cards, you name it, is gone. That's a good solution for those sorts of scenarios after the fact, right? Kind of the cleanup on aisle 5. Are you a big believer in cybersecurity insurance?
It's table stakes in a lot of ways. You have to have it. And just because you have it, you've not checked the box on cybersecurity. That should be a backstop, kind of last resort. And it's not going to cover a lot.
Shocker.
Right?
Insurance
like
product.
Good insurance, it's not going to cover everything that you would hope it would. I mean, there's minimums that you have to pay for out of pocket first.
Like deductible scenario stuff?
Yeah, they call it something differently, but it's effectively, it's a deductible. There are caps to it in terms of how many dollars per incident, how many dollars per lifetime of the policy. And why I say that, and because a lot of times a pretty standard would be like $1 million coverage. Sounds like a lot of money. And it is. And these cybersecurity events can add up really quickly.
I bet.
If there's a ransom, and do you pay it? Do you not pay it? Did you pull them in soon enough to help negotiate it? The ransom can cost a lot of money. The public relations piece of this, how do you interact with your customers and your target market?
Post-breach, right? Yeah.
Post-breach. How do you pay for identity watch type services for your customers afterwards? Say, hey, your data got breached because it was with us. You now have LifeLock or whatever for the next year on us.
Oh, God.
All of those things add up very quickly. And I've heard of several cyber events. Never have I heard that the cyber insurance covers everything. You almost always pay a significant amount of money out of pocket.
Sounds right.
So just because you have the cyber insurance, because you have to have it, don't check the box on we're done. We've done everything we can. You still need to have, and frankly, a lot of times your insurance needs to prove that you've done everything that you could have done and should have done. Did you have that MFA multi-factor in place? Did you have the password manager in place? Did you have policies? Did you have annual training in place? All the things.
It's a little bit of, so that is, and I think that's the good hygiene of a product like that. You know how every time, please scare me into buying your product, because if you don't, I probably won't do it. Mm-hmm. This too is a good hygiene of, hey, by the way, just because you have insurance, that doesn't mean you can, piss off with your responsibility. In fact, you got to have MFA. You've got to have everybody, with separate passwords and keys and all the typical. And if you don't, it's kind of like if I've got a commercial building, I don't have working sprinklers in it. You knew you didn't have sprinklers in it, and we insured it. It was our bad, but that's a fault of your own. Mm-hmm. You've breached the contract. That is, I guess I like that from one sense, but I also don't like it if they deny claims. Which I think in this business is pretty high that they do not, or they, what would you call that, a high denial
I don't think
claim?
They necessarily deny the claims. Where I see it more so is
underpay.
Well, I've seen a lot of statistics that the average cyber event this last year, so we're in 2026 now, so in 25, the average cyber event costs somewhere between $4 and $5 million.
Holy, is it really? Is that?
And that's globally. It's actually a higher number if you look at just the United States. And so if you've got $1 million coverage, even $2 million
congratulations,
coverage, you've got a lot still coming out of pocket. Now,
maybe
some of that soft costs, like, hey, it's a loss of reputation, loss of sales. How do you quantify what was a loss because of this versus whatever? But They estimate somewhere between 4 and 5 million globally is the average cost of a breach.
Well, it's starting to crystallize in my brain why 60% of people, small businesses, go out after us because it's so expensive.
Yeah. Well, and the time that it takes to resolve, probably no surprise to anyone, healthcare is the industry that it takes the longest to resolve these. And that's almost, 9 months is what they estimate that it takes to actually get everything done and behind you in a healthcare data breach. Something less than that in other industries. But even if it's 30 days, that's 30 days that you're not spending on growing your business. You're dicking around with whatever the breach is causing.
Obviously, I do a lot of show prep, and I always think, have lots of notes for us. And you look to me to be the pop social icon of the duo here, a Silver Creator Award winners. Just this weekend, Saturday Night Live did on Weekend Update. Did you hear this?
No.
Just this weekend, they did this. Iranian hackers have been targeting healthcare companies, and they've said that they've been successfully infiltrated them. But how messed up healthcare is, nobody noticed. So they might have been offline, might have been jacked up. Nobody knew what they were doing, and it just felt like the normal experience in healthcare with their data.
That checks out.
That seemed amazing. Saturday Night Live, Weekend Update,
so
Colin Jost. Very well, that's what I'm here for. All my prep.
Yeah.
Show prep here, making sure we're getting through what we need to get through. So I asked you about the insurance. Does like SOC 2, some of these other sort of more SOC isn't cyber specifically. It's a standard operating sort of best practice around a lot of stuff. Small companies, right? Please tell me, for Christ's sakes, you don't need anything SOC 2.
No. Well, and so much of SOC is, it's not a quote financial audit, but so much of it is a financial audit.
Controls, right?
It's
That's
controls.
Yeah.
You have the right process in place. Are you doing all the right things? So I don't know what the right percentage is, but I would say the majority of the things you get tested on in SOC, you should be just doing. It's just good hygiene. And so you can look at what it takes to pass a SOC test and go through that list yourself and say, are we doing these things? Should we be doing these things? I would say for the vast majority of businesses, the cost of actually going through a SOC audit is not worth it. Now, I say that, and then on the other side of my mouth, I did see a statistic that 80% of companies now require their vendors to have a SOC 2 compliance. So you're going to have to make a business decision of, is this customer of mine really important? And if they're requiring that I have a SOC 2 compliance, do I trade the business for that, or do I invest in? You're going to have to make those business decisions.
I'll give. I won't name names, but I'll drop some big corporations that don't listen to us and don't give a shit.
Don't get a suit again, Mike.
Won't be the first time. Small app company for employee benefit space. I'll just say that went to Target Corp, and they also had something going on with. Might have been UH, 2 big hitters in the Twin Cities area. Target say, you need to be SOC 2. But if you get them, it's like, I'll make up the number, $100,000 a month. You're like, oh my God, it's $1 million contract. Let's do it. Then you realize, SOC 2 is not inexpensive. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars and doesn't happen tomorrow.
No.
It takes, what does it take? 6 months, 9 months, a year?
It could take up to over a year.
Yeah. So you start to look at them like, and of course, you don't have hundreds of thousands of extra cash laying around. So you're like, come on, Target or big brand, whoever it was, I'll split it with you. I'll give you a discount on it. Because some of those smaller companies have to make decisions around security, SOC audits. It is a proper trade-off, and you better be getting something. And in this case, had they go through SOC 2, they wanted the app for their employees. Yeah. It would have been sort of a done deal, let's say. And then you can make a real easy calculation, but it never presents itself. Very rarely does it present itself like that. Like, here's your cost or your benefit that you're going to get, and here's the cost. Super easy conversation. Most of the times you don't know it. You're doing it, like you said, good hygiene. We should have good security because that's a smart thing to do. Yeah. I'm not going to pay you any extra. I'm just not going to.
I would say if you're less than $50 million a year in revenue, you really have to look at it as a business decision. Do I need to have this for future sales, current sales, whatever the issue is? if you're over that, then there probably is just a expectation that you're big enough that you've got all those things buttoned up, and it's going to be considered table stakes that you have it. But if you're less than 50 million, don't do it just to say you did it. You need to have I like how you said that. You need to have a very direct value proposition that you can articulate.
I think so. So I remember, just fun story maybe before we head out. Remember our most recent company where I might have been the CEO and you may have been head of...
You Googled cybersecurity
I
one day.
Googled cybersecurity. I said, called you, our compliance officer and our president, and I've said, hey, what's our plan for a ransomware attack? What's our plan for this? And I wouldn't say I was laughed out of the room, but there was a lot of giggling.
You were.
There were some jokes afterward. I'm like, no, for real. The Russians are going to hack us. They're going to get access to everything, and we don't have the kind of cash to pay them off. And I know some of the Irish mob in St. Paul and with Ritz in Chicago, but the East Europeans, man, they don't mess around. Russians were going to come get us, and this is the
you
face
were convinced of it.
This is the face I got. I just thought, cute.
Yeah.
Say more.
Yeah, FUD.
We're
Fear, uncertainty.
And Wascally Wabbit got away. Yeah, we got away from the Russians. And nothing ever, because I think ours.
What I recall was, I very calmly and professionally walked you through.
You did.
The logic or lack thereof.
Pejoratively, probably.
Yeah. Might have been. No, it's a good example, though, where you rip things from the headlines, and the reality is that's not typically how these things are playing out. It really is Cheryl in accounting that clicked on a link, has got the same meow, 1, 2, 3 password that she's had
Oh, my God.
for the last 30
Meow,
years.
meow. Nice.
I'm assuming Cheryl in accounting's a cat lady.
Karen?
Yeah. Karen.
Karen again.
So focus your energy just on the basic good hygiene things. Most of what you're doing in this space should be low to no cost. It really is just, are you managing it? Are you talking about it? Are you testing it? Are you training it with your employees? You don't need to have tens of thousands of dollars.
And to be
software.
fair, I think to my case, I do read the headlines. I do see what's going on. And I think we were getting ready for
follow current events.
Obviously. We were getting ready for a significant raise. And we were thinking like, hey, what's the one thing that could trip us up? How's our ransomware? How's our data protection? We kind of, I think that was a little bit in my head when I was thinking about that. And by the way, if you're about to be sold or going for a raise, you better have an answer on how you keep your cyber buttoned up. You better have a plan, somebody in charge of it, right? So you were, as a CFO, you were in charge of all compliance generally, although we had a compliance person. You better be able to say that if you're going to raise money, anything north of $1 million, or if you're going for an exit, you better have.
That's a great point. I mean, to your credit in that example,
I'm waiting for it.
do these
Kinda like
things
the plaque,
before
just
you
took a
need
minute.
to do them.
Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
To your credit in this story, Mike,
Like that.
you need to do these things before you need to do these things.
Yes.
And being proactive and asking the questions before they're being asked of you is a really good position to put yourself in.
Yeah.
And you were doing that. So yay, Mike. All this time I've just been
Well, you did
silently hating on you. And you were
You
doing
did
all the right
ridicule me
stuff.
quite a bit. So did the staff, people. Remember we even scheduled
This was also days after you said ChatGPT was going to revolutionize.
No,
the
I said
business.
Copilot.
Copilot. Yeah,
Copilot
yeah.
it was.
Copilot, yeah.
We'll just turn it off. We can get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
I was very convinced of that. Well, although that's happening, but a couple years early.
Bleeding edge, Mike.
That's where I live. I just, without beating this dead horse, we did set quarterly. We did set quarterly meetings that nobody but me attended. I kind of got the picture after that. Congratulations on your Silver Creator Award.
Congratulations to you, Mike.
Thanks.
Well deserved. You put a lot of hard work into this.
A lot of prep, sleepless nights. Well, I think that's it.
That's it for this round of burn rate and bullshit.
Where the only thing we sugarcoat is our coffee.
If you liked what you heard, great. If you didn't, even better. We're not here to make friends.
Hit like and subscribe and share with someone who just bought an AI security tool and that they don't understand. And remember, hype dies, execution wins. Stop pitching, better start patching.
Next time on Burn Rate and Bullshit, we're talking tariffs, and no, this isn't just a DC problem. When your container hits the dock and your bill of material jumps 25%, your runway model quietly detonates. If you've ever said, we're software, tariffs don't affect us, this episode is the hard look at your P&L and pipeline you've been avoiding.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. The shit has hit the fan.